Tonight I wanted to talk a little bit about being a nice guy. I know being a nice guy is seen as a bad thing. You don't get any women. I'm really talking to the fellas tonight. You don't get a lot of women. Women don't like you. They're passive with you in return. They don't give you what you want. And I'm not just talking about sex. They just don't cooperate with you. They think you're fake. They think you're a loser. They think you have no money. You're broke to them. They use it as a tool. They want you to help them move around. And yes, I'm only focusing on women. This video, I may come back and do one just about how other guys use other guys. But for this, I'm just trying to capture what I selected as a picture. But yeah, man, I hear endless stories, endless horror stories, and complaints about how being a nice guy bit them in the ass. And yeah, I wanted to speak about that. So what made me talk about this tonight? Well, I've been going out a lot for the NBA playoff games, and I've noticed the same script that every guy has with women that they talk to. They're nice to them. They want to buy these shots, and my focus is just really going out to the bars. I don't really talk to too many women like during the day, like at the store, like at work, because I don't like to do that personally myself. But yeah, bars and clubs are what I'm really talking about. So guys, what they'll do is they sound all friendly. I wouldn't even say it's fake. Many of these dudes are pretty cool. They talk to everyone. They don't do that bullshit where they're all mean to you, but then they front and be all nice to the girls. They're pretty much cool to everyone. But yeah, they talk to them, they drink with them, they hang out, they talk to them about sports like they're best buddies and all that. And I'm not saying not to do that. I'm just speaking on my observations. And I think there's a more productive way to go about being a nice guy if you're just that friendly with people. When is a good time to be a nice guy? Anytime you're working for tips or a wage, just anytime you're trying to get paid, that's a good time to be a nice guy. And going back to being fake, you may argue that if I'm at work and I'm being nice, then you're being fake if you're trying to get paid. I would argue not, because some customers, in my experience working jobs, if they're pleasant, they make the job more flavorful. They make it more pleasant to do it. So my conversations, as I've noticed, the more I would talk to people, I became even more friendlier, and thus more people would tip me. Being a nice guy isn't all bad. You just got to know how to parlay it. You just got to know when to be a nice guy and when to not be a nice guy. But yeah, I think guys, if you're on the internet complaining or in real life complaining, I think you should get off the internet and just work nights at like a restaurant or bar. You should be an Uber, Lyft driver, anything like that. I know those jobs don't pay particularly well in this economy, but at least do it as a side quest. Do it to kind of learn how to have conversations with people, learn how to develop active listening skills. That's when being a nice guy would pay off. You can use those active listening skills for job opportunities, for networking opportunities, to create business for yourself based on your listening skills. What I see so many guys do is they'll go out to like a game or something like that, especially during playoff season. And I'm speaking as a dude who's guilty of this myself. They'll sit at a place for like 6 hours. They'll talk to any and everyone. Your argument with me could be, well, Mr. Silver Lining, if I'm going out and I'm talking to any and everyone, aren't I already developing active listening skills? Aren't I already learning how to have different conversations with people? Yes. My main point with this video is just don't do it for free. I deliberately chose this picture to illustrate that the guy's talking to a bunch of women. He may find them attractive, he may not, but he gets to talk to women and he gets to get paid for doing it. So that's my point, is just limit the amount of time that you do it for free. In fact, you should almost like not go out. You should all get night jobs. I'm assuming most of you will have the day job, but you should just get a second job, as I said, a side quest, and just have many conversations from there. I don't think you should just be spending ample amounts of your free time out like at a bar or a club, talking to stush people, talking to douchebags, talking to just these lame people. I mean, you can get more fulfillment going on a road trip with like two of your best buds, and your one conversation you have could be better than like 100 different conversations you have in one night. But that's my whole spiel on being a nice guy. I mean, like I said, I am Mr. Silver Lining. There is a benefit to being a nice guy. Being a nice guy, I don't think has to be an absolute. I mean, no one is really absolutely nice unless you're just a pushover. But yeah, man, I would limit the amount of free time that you guys spend with people you don't really know. I would just limit to verbal conversation you have. I mean, people really aren't that cool, and I'm probably going to make another video about that, but people I find really aren't that great if you just kind of pay attention to their mannerisms. But that's all for tonight. Thank y'all for listening. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.